Welcome back to the Better Late Than Never Club. I'm Beck.
And I'm Frost.
And tonight we are watching a movie that Frost has tried to get me to watch for dang near a decade, I reckon.
That's not strictly true. It comes up from time to time, and I watched it a very, very long time ago, and when I enjoyed that film, also it seems pertinent to current events.
Okay. Concerning, given what I know about the movie. So, let's talk about it. The movie is Leon the Professional.
Yeah, and here's what I remember about it. It's about a professional hitman who, I can't remember exactly how this happens, but effectively somebody comes under his, guardianship, and so he teaches them the trade. And what...
That's someone being a young girl.
Yeah, a 16-year-old girl, I think.
Wrong. Anyway, she's like 12.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So let's talk about it. So the genres we're working with is like thriller, action, crime, which makes sense if we're talking about a hitman, right? I don't really know much about the film. All I know about it is that it's really about a hitman and his young protege, who happens to be a 12-year-old Natalie Portman.
Protege was the word I was looking for.
Yeah. So talking about actors in this movie that I know of with name recognition, the only ones, well, there's two. There's Natalie Portman and Gary Oldman.
Is Gary Oldman the shooter?
I don't know.
The guy who plays Leon?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I try not to look too hard at cast lists because I'm trying to, maintain the mystery for myself until I actually watch it, but I don't think so.
The guy
I don't think I recognize the name at least. I might visually recognize him, but I only look at a list of names.
I recognize this guy's face. He's in other stuff, and he's usually like a grizzled criminal kind of guy.
Well, that makes sense. He's playing a pretty grizzled criminal, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So the main thing that I want to talk about here up top, because we've basically covered everything I know about the film. It was a success, financially. It had kind of mixed, leaning positive reviews, that kind of thing. The main thing I want to talk about is the director, because this is where we come into the spooky part of the up top section. I say spooky because, you'll see.
I didn't expect spooky. It is.
So our director is a man called Luc Besson. Probably sounds better in French because he is French and it's spelled L-U-C. Luc. He has done he's done a lot of movies, and I wrote down the few that he directed that I most recognized being, there's this one and then The Fifth Element.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, which I gather he was quite heavily involved with, maybe wrote and stuff. He also did that movie that we watched, Lucy. Do you remember that one?
Oh my god,
with Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, that was a rough film.
That was a rough one. And then he did this one, which I haven't seen, but I have heard of because it bombed, which is Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
I have heard of that.
I think it did really badly. It's like a sci-fi situation. Anyway, he's done a lot more than that, but those were the ones that kind of stood out to me.
That is wild ranging, from The Fifth Element to Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets.
Yeah, you say that, but The Fifth Element had got mixed reviews at the time. Obviously, it's pretty beloved now in many ways.
Multipass.
Anyway, so the controversial part about Leon is obviously that there's this kind of, I'll say, relationship between this hitman and this young girl. Now, it's not necessarily like a romantic relationship, obviously, but there has been some controversy surrounding it, and especially what inspired it. So the director at the time, he was married. He's been married 4 times. But at the time, he was married to this actress she goes by a mononym. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Mei Wen. That's how it's kind of spelt. And he met her when she was 12 and he was 29.
Yikes.
He officially started dating her when she was 15, which is the legal age of consent in that country.
Yikes.
They got married in 1992 when he was 33, and because she fell pregnant at 16.
Oh, no.
With their first child.
Oh, no.
She claims that their relationship was the inspiration for this movie, which is concerning. A little bit more information added, a little bit of spice to add to it, is that they got divorced in 1997.
I haven't been keeping track of the year. How long?
So they got married in 92 when she's 16. So they get divorced when she's about 21.
Yeah.
Because somehow Besson found a way to leave her for a younger woman.
I think somehow that's very funny, but not ha-ha somehow.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's very often that 21-year-olds get left for younger women. He leaves, he they get divorced because he becomes involved with Mila Jovovich,
I know that name.
the main actress from The Fifth Element.
Ah,
She was 19. They get married. They split up 2 years later,
Jesus Christ.
because she
So
turned 21, I guess.
He's Francis Leonardo DiCaprio then.
Seemingly. Now, so all of that to be said, that leaves a pretty bad taste in your mouth, right?
I mean, I didn't know the French age of consent was 15, for one.
It might not be anymore. This was back in the 90s. I don't know. I haven't looked into that because, frankly, I need,
You need
I don't.
space.
Yeah. In something interesting is that his wife at the time of this movie, so 94, he's still married to Mei Wen. She's in the movie, I think, as like kind of I saw her in the list of characters. So I'm interested to see. She would have been 18, I guess.
Interesting.
At the time of this. So I'm interested to see how she's portrayed.
Maybe she had to get away onto set to make sure that the director didn't get involved with Natalie Portman.
Don't even say that. That's so upsetting. Anyway, Natalie Portman has expressed mixed feelings about it, kind of in the aftermath, I think, which makes sense.
Yeah, interesting.
She was literally 12
I mean, yeah.
when it was made. So yeah, I am interested to see it, mostly because you obviously have a good memory of it.
Well, I don't remember any romantic overtones at all.
I don't think they're necessarily, it's definitely not like Ludlita, right? Which is like literally, that's what that is. However, knowing what we know about the director, I am interested to see, because I don't think, probably most people who watched or would watch this movie may not know all of that information about the director.
Yeah, I would
might
say they wouldn't know.
colour our view on it, maybe.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's a lot to be thought about. I'm intrigued to watch it, especially given we're in the year of our Lord 2025,
Yeah.
to see if 1994 holds up with Leon the Professional.
First, we meet Leon, a professional hitman working for the mafia out of Little Italy, New York. In the same apartment building, a young girl, Matilda, is struggling to navigate life alongside her chaotic and maladjusted family. When her father becomes entangled with a drug scheme, and after getting on the bad side of a drug-fueled corrupt DEA agent, Matilda's entire family is murdered. She is reluctantly taken in by Leon, who she pleads with to teach her how to be a hitman. After some consideration, he agrees, training her how to use a variety of weapons. Matilda soon grows impatient with her plan to avenge her little brother, and taking a bag of guns, she heads to the DEA office. Through some unfortunate machinations, this leads to a team of NYPD officers to infiltrate Leon's apartment, which forces both him and Matilda to flee. Matilda gets away, but Leon is cornered and sets off a litany of grenades to kill both himself and the corrupt agent. Matilda returns to her boarding school, planting Leon's plant in the garden. Here's some deeper thoughts on the matter.
Pardon my French, but what the fuck?
Oh, man. I do not remember this film like that at all.
Uh-huh.
At all. Like, I remember the rooftop scene with the sniper rifle and the runner. And I remember the doorbells montage, the training montage. And I vaguely remember, there's a big shootout, which is...
The Gary Oldman scene at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't actually remember the Gary Oldman scene at the beginning, but I remember the big, fight in the apartment at the end.
Sure.
But
So you remember about 10 to 15 minutes of a 2-hour film.
And I don't remember it being this funny, but I really don't think it's meant to be funny. I don't think it's trying to be funny. Oh, God. Let's start at the dialogue. Let's start with the dialogue, because it's pretty atrocious.
The dialogue had 2 modes. No, sorry, let me amend that. 3 modes.
It had 3 modes. Yep.
It had unintentionally funny.
Stop saying okay, good.
Yeah.
Comic genius.
Well, I wouldn't go so that far, but anyway.
If it was intentional.
It had incredibly cringy
Yeah.
and badly written or
A couple of
stilting.
one-liners that
Yeah.
were trying to be one-liners that weren't.
And the third was wildly uncomfortable.
Yes. Yeah, 100% of Natalie Portman's dialogue whenever she was trying to be romantic with Leon. Because it was overtly romantic. And I've either because this was an extended edition and
I don't
that's...
think it was just that, though.
I mean...
It can't have been.
can't
There
have
was
been.
more than 25 minutes of
Because
uncomfortableness.
I remember the maniacal laugh in the restaurant scene too. And that's like,
That's so weird.
yeah, it's so like
It's
to no end.
incongruous.
Yeah, it's so disconnected from, and we're talking about it throughout, that this could have been a much better film that was comedy, action, thriller, crime, where their relationship is purely platonic, like father-daughter, and like they just lean into the comedy of the one-liners a bit instead of trying to make it a bit serious.
Obviously, that's not what they were going for, though.
It's not what they were going for. I'm just saying it would have been a better film if they had.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see, like, Fifth Element has funny moments. It's not a comedy.
It definitely has funny moments. Like, intentionally funny, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't know if it's because they're around the same time, but I see Gary Oldman in the role that he did here as the corrupt DEA agent. Well, cop? Are they technically police? I'm not really sure. Either way,
Probably some kind of branch. They're a federal branch.
they're a federal branch. So I see, maybe it's because he's the same age or he's got the same, because this and The Fifth Element are about the same age, roughly, right? I get the vibe that they're both.
Oh, yeah, this was 94, and in 97, he is moving on to Mila Jovovich.
So presumably that's when The Fifth Element came out.
Correct.
So
97, yeah.
in Gary Oldman here, I see a lot of him in how he was as the Fifth Element, like kind of manic,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of creepy villain energy, which is what his character in The Fifth Element had. I can't remember the character's name, but he had that weird plastic
Doesn't matter.
head. And it's like this film had elements of like fantasy or sci-fi because Gary Oldman's character was so strange.
This one?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, but I'm talking about like it's like Gary Oldman got the wrong direction.
I mean, not really. He was just a drugged up, corrupt cop.
Cracked out dude.
Yeah.
But like nobody's questioning it. Like this is
I mean, he clearly has a lot of power. And he's unhinged, and unhinged people can do whatever they want in some capacities.
yeah, to some capacity.
I sincerely couldn't enjoy this film because every time there was like a little bit of, oh, that was a fun scene, or that was a fun little montage, it was immediately bookended by deeply uncomfortable scenes.
It's so bizarre that this did well in cinema.
I mean, it was the 90s and people were like, it's French. Ugh.
But it's not French. It's very
Well, it is a
clearly
French film. It's an English language French film.
set in New York.
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
Because he's French. As the director, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, nothing about it feels like a French film. It feels like a bad American film.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
So when I think did well in cinemas, I think did well in, you know, like all
So
cinemas.
the budget was 16 million and it box officed at 45 million.
Right. Okay. So it did fine, but that might be because it wasn't a big hit in places like America or Australia or something like that. Because I cannot see a lot of people enjoying this, other than maybe as
Apparently, I don't know how they have these numbers, but it sold like 18.5 million tickets worldwide, 3.6 of which were in France. Million.
that seems like a fairly significant portion.
It's significant, but it's not like all of it.
No, but I mean when you think,
3.6 out of 18.5.
yeah, that's like
But that's probably because it's a French director. No,
Yeah.
we're kind of getting in the weeds a little bit about where it was successful and why. I can't believe this was Natalie Portman's first movie.
yeah.
Poor girl.
Right. I think you said in the preamble that she had mixed feelings about this. I can see why. I can absolutely see why. It's also, I mean, she did a good job because you can tell that there are moments where this is being directed by somebody who is telling her what to do. Like the head roll as she shoots the guy. Like
There's lots of bits that I'm like,
This is-
her wardrobe for the entire movie.
Right.
Obviously, like, I mean, the scene where she dresses up first as Madonna and then as Marilyn Monroe.
yeah.
And every time almost all of the uncomfortable scenes, I turned to you and I suggested a way to keep kind of the crux of the scene, but change the vibe
Right.
a little bit, and you can make it perfectly normal.
Totally okay.
And the fact that someone sat down and chose this,
It's like waking up and choosing violence.
I mean, it's just what boggles my mind is that God knows how many people were involved in making a movie like this, and everyone was just like, yeah.
Artistic genius. French film.
I
Mon ami.
don't know, man. there's a part of me that's like, I knew I was right.
Oh, yeah.
I knew I was right in not wanting to watch this film for a reason, and now I know why. I feel a little bit ill. I feel bad that, like, the film could have been good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the concept in and of itself isn't a bad one.
No.
Of young girl's family gets killed in a, you know, bad part of town because her dad's a criminal.
And by circumstance, she
then gets saved by a hitman who begrudgingly takes her in. And then, if they could have done this, they could have fostered like a proper father-daughter protege kind of, you know, begrudging protege setup, and it would have worked fine. They could have had the funny scenes. They could have had the touching scenes. You know, she could still be mad at him for not going after the big guys.
Yeah.
You know, all of that can remain the same.
And basically nothing needs to change in the film except for the scenes which are too much.
Even some of the scenes where she's not with Leon being horrifically over-sexualized. There's a lot of other scenes, even when she's on her own, where they're trying to make her older, right? Like, she's older, like, even when she, like, pays off those kids to sit on the step, and then she's like, go play somewhere else. That's them being like, she's, you know, she's mature. She's got bigger things on her mind. She's got to think about it. You know, and even that sits wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because that's such a classic thing. Not to get deep on, like, you know, the way adults groom children, but like saying, you know, you're old for your age, you're an old soul, that kind of vibe is very predatory.
Ooh.
Because that's what it felt like the film was trying to tell us. You know?
Like, make it okay. Like, oh, but it's okay because...
because she's been through all of this and she, you know... no, she's literally 12.
What was you were saying? It's like the scene where... I can't remember the order of context, but she comes out in the dress that he bought for her, and she's like,
yeah,
it gets pretty gratuitous, and he's like, no, I can't. And the obvious answer is because you're a child.
Right.
But instead he goes and tells a story about how...
His first girlfriend, he couldn't be with her, and then she was killed, and he was mad about it.
Yeah, and obviously...
And he's like, I've never had another lover, and I wouldn't be a good lover. That's irrelevant,
this is
sir.
all irrelevant.
That's irrelevant. That's a 12-year-old. I don't even know.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like I have so little to say because it was just truly not. It was irredeemably uncomfortable.
And what's like the tragic about this is there's probably about 15 to 20 minutes of this film, which if you cut it or changed it, and it could be a really good film. And I think you said at the end while watching the credits or just coming up to it that Kick-Ass did this really well. Kick-Ass had that similar like father-daughter, which was, I think you said Nicolas Cage and Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yeah.
And it was similar vibes. You know, she's still vying for his attention all the time.
But as a daughter does to her father, which she wants to impress.
And that's like, it is a cool concept. That movie was great. I really liked Kick-Ass, and I thought that character in Kick-Ass, can't remember what her superhero name is, but
yeah,
doesn't matter. That was fun. That was like...
And I mean, that was action comedy for a reason. And I think this could have been similar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of the, I think, you know, you set it up at the start, right? Like a lot of the director.
I mean, think about the context that we were talking about.
Yeah. Well,
his first wife or whatever, he met her when she was 12. Hello? Are we seeing some connection here? Awful. To
put this on paper like this, it would be like having a movie that was like, yes, and this has been directed by Mr. McLean. It's called Mr. McLean Went to Parliament and Killed Everyone. And it's
a manifesto in film form.
Exactly. Like, oh man, I just don't, I can't imagine putting this to a script and then being like, this is a good idea to show people, let alone turn it into an actual film.
Yeah.
Like the hubris. Oh, I can't even fathom the concept. I imagine this guy's on Epstein's list.
Okay, yeah. Let's not go there. Anyway, look, we've seen it now. I've seen it. You've had your memory
tarnished. Sadly.
I would say amended.
Amended, yeah, it's true. It's very upsetting. Because, you know, you have something that you watched like 20 years ago and you're like, oh, this has like I remember that rooftop scene and I was like, that's fucking sick. That's so funny that they shot at a senator or a president and they didn't realize it. And it's
with
like,
the paintballs. That's it's a good setup.
it's a great setup. It's a great concept, and the rest of the movie around it really does not stand up to the lens 20 years later.
No.
30 years later.
They were. I read on the Wikipedia that the director was like loosely planning a follow-up movie called Matilda of like her when she's older.
Yeah.
But
he
left.
lost interest in the idea because she was too old.
No. He left the production company or whatever company owned the rights to this movie.
Yeah.
And they have held onto it and not let it go.
I like to imagine
that someone there knows, like, they don't want to give. But they apparently he made a different movie, which basically was it wasn't called Matilda because, you know, he probably doesn't own the rights to that character or whatever.
Yep.
But he made another movie that definitely had the same vibe of like a girl whose parents were killed by like the mafia grows up to become a hit person, you know, like. So basically, he made the movie he wanted to make.
It's like when you see the costumes in Kmart that are like, it's definitely not Wednesday Addams.
Yeah. Spooky weekday girl.
Exactly. That's if they haven't called.
I think I've seen that online. I think I've stolen that joke from someone.
Well, first time I'm hearing of it, so I'm a fan. This is. I do feel like
I feel like I need like a bleach bath.
Yeah.
Just to renew my soul.
You know those like biochemical showers, the rings that have like the full spray you from every direction, so that you get clean from contaminants.
Yeah. Like, what's crazy to me is that this isn't even as bad as Lolita. It's not as bad as Lolita in some ways because in Lolita, the adult is literally pursuing the child.
Yeah.
Whereas in this, it's more like, oh, she's a 12-year-old who has kind of messed up views on life and love and relationships and all this. Like, she's misguided.
Yeah.
And he is constantly rebutting and not, you know, not allowing her to further the relationship.
Yeah.
Which is so noble of him.
Oh, so noble.
So noble.
The bar is low.
Deeply sarcastic. So at least in that way, it's not as repugnant, but it's hard.
Did they make a movie of Lolita? Because I know of it as a book.
Yes, they did.
I know the meme is like, oh, my favorite book is Lolita. Is like there was a meme around that some time ago about somebody, I can't remember.
A dog whistle for pedophilia?
Right, exactly. But
not even a dog whistle, like a bullhorn.
I didn't realize they made a movie of it.
Yeah, they did.
That's tragic. Like the closest film I can think that had the same kind of ick factor, I think the movie was called Trainspotting. Editor's note, I meant Hard Candy from 2005.
Haven't seen it. Big surprise.
I might be misremembering the name of the film, but it's the premise is that some girls go after a known pedophile by effectively baiting him and then killing him, and that's the concept. And it's that same ick though of like
they've made 2 Lolita movies.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked knowing what we know about the
Hollywood elite.
How does Bo Burnham put it? The pedophilic
corporate elite.
That's how the world works.
I'm just sad that we have to talk about it, you know? It's meant to be a lighthearted podcast, man.
Hey, we never said it was a lighthearted podcast. We can
That's
have
what I needed. On a personal note.
Look, you know, next
you owe me a comedy and a rom-com.
And 2 I owe you 2.
At least. I was going to keep naming things.
Oh, dare I ask, is there anything else you want to talk about? Any of the other characters?
Well, we talked about how his wife at the time played a role. I'm going to assume she was the call girl at the start of the movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you don't get away with killing your wife on screen.
No, but apparently you do get away as casting her as like a sex worker masseuse. Anyway. Goddamn. I don't think I have much else to say, to be honest. I mean, it definitely had potential in different hands with that element, that whole subplot, sub-vibe taken out. It's not really sub. That whole element taken out. It really could have been a good movie.
It had some great moments, and if that had been done, those really would have been highlighted. Do you know what I mean? Like,
right.
For example, when they go just before the door knocking montage starts, and she pulls something out of her bag, and he goes, "What's that?" And she's like, "Don't want to catch a cold." Throwing the line back at him when she puts her on her own beanie.
Right.
Moments like that. There is some good writing there. It's just a shame that the rest of it's trash.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is I shouldn't be trusted to pick films anymore because I don't remember.
Okay, I want to say nothing, but
I was banned from picking films for so long. Now I'm in the ban from picking films.
You're back in the hole.
I'm back in the hole.
You're gonna have to earn your way out somehow. But for now, I would say we probably don't recommend you watch this film.
No, it hasn't.
I don't think it's definitely not a necessity. We've told you all the bits that are good. Maybe, read the plot summary on Wikipedia if you feel the need. But other than that, it's definitely not a must-see.
Yeah, you could probably go Leon's Professional action scenes and watch about 12 minutes of it on YouTube, and that's the whole film.
But even then, I don't think they're that good.
Some of them are pretty funny.
But here's the thing, like, the last scene, right? It's pretty cool to see like how he manages to kind of go up against this ridiculous amount of police. It's actually it is a comical amount of police. When he's walking down the stairs and there's just hundreds of guys, they can't even all fit into the corridor approaching his doorway. Yeah. It's stupid. And like the payoff of him being on the ceiling after them showing him that he's been, he works out and has a really strong core is good. That's a great payoff for that scene. But in and of itself, they weren't like that spectacular, I don't think, of action scenes.
No, look, all right.
If you got a hankering for action scenes, John Wick is right there.
That's true.
Anyway.
Keanu Reeves did it right. We don't need to go back and look at any other films. If you ever feel like an action film, delete delete your streaming queue. Just queue up John Wick.
Well, you know who I feel bad for? The poor sod in 1994 who thought they were going to see a cool action hitman movie and walked out going,
I watched 2 hours and 14.
Am I on a list now? Like that.
I watched 2 hours and 14 minutes of something very uncomfortable that had about 20 minutes of action in it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I think we should rate it. That is our duty.
Yeah.
At this point.
Here we go. Let's.
I think we're going to break some... It's like the opposite of breaking the glass ceiling. I'm breaking the glass floor on
We're
ratings.
Dropping things on the tiles. I'm just trying to think of a little... What is it in the scale of? Oh, no, I know what it's going to be. I know I'm going to rate it.
All right. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I'm going to rate this a 3, but I'm going to hold on to those points. Kind of like a bank, but better than a bank because you can't knock this over. Right? There's no paperwork, there's no forms. You just come by once in a while and I'll eke those points out to you as you need them. You can have a little fun.
You really like to make the rating system confusing for the listener, don't you?
Yes. Because you're not going to watch this film, dear listener, and I sure hope you haven't. I sure hope you didn't follow our advice and watch along with this. But if you haven't watched, and please don't, that is the line that Tony, the Italian mobster who Leon works for, keeps saying to anyone who he holds money for.
I think you butchered it a little bit, but I'll give you that.
I tried to make it work with the points system.
Yeah,
it doesn't,
Nobody knocks off, don't they? Anyway, I was also in the 3 realm. I was going to be generous for the 3.2.
Ooh, that's very generous.
Naps in a chair in the corner.
Oh, that's all right. See, that's another moment. If instead of sharing the bed, they had done what you suggested.
Right.
And Natalie Portman takes the chair with the glasses.
It would have been great.
Comedy gold. Amazing. Incredible.
But even it doesn't even need to be funny. It can be cute. She's emulating him and but she cares, but she's like, you take the bed. I've got this.
Yeah,
I'm covering.
Take watch.
Yeah. But instead they had to make it disgusting and gross and horrible.
Horrible.
Anyway,
look, 3.2, that's definitely the lowest rated film we've ever done.
Far and wide.
Have we done a film that we've just turned off
No, we haven't had any did not finishes yet.
We had one that we technically didn't start because we tried to do a horror film and it ended up being the third film in a series, so we never actually did it.
True.
So that's the closest we've come to having a do not finish.
Yeah, but that was more just like an error on our part than any fault of the films.
So this is the closest we came to a DNF.
There was a point in time where I was literally waving my hands in front of me like I was rebuking Satan.
I believe you said the power of Christ compels you at the television.
Yeah, well, it felt like I needed some holy water to spray at the screen.
Yeah, you need one of those like cat things to like spray them.
Yeah.
Like, no, bad, stop.
Well, yeah, I need a direct line to Luc Besson and say, what is wrong with you, sir?
Oh no.
All right, let's wrap this up. Get a hot cup of tea and watch something wholesome.
Yeah, go watch some I don't know, Whose Line Is It Anyway or something.
If you guys have any recommendations that aren't going to scar us, ruin our lives, wreck our sleep for the next foreseeable future, please send them to us. You can send them over on Patreon in the comments or Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find us, the Better Late Than Never Club. Promise our next episode isn't going to be so grim, dark, sad.
We'll pick something good. I won't be involved in the picking process. That's how you know
I'll
it's going
be
to be
taking
good.
the reins back. Thank you very much. Until next time.
Till next time.
Meeting adjourned. This episode of the Better Late Than Never Club is brought to you by our patrons: Alex, Christopher, Lindy, Matthew, Nathan, and Rachel.
And also our members, Aimless, Andrew, Raina, Salty Pond, and Simon.
Thank you for listening.